So guys, what's going on? I hope you guys are well. So guys, I want to talk about Canelo and Andrade. Someone's asked me to do a video. What did I make of that situation? I did a little bit in the video yesterday. But yeah, Canelo wasn't happy with Andrade. Personally, I don't think Canelo was having a go at Andrade. I think it was all been doing as trolling. I think he was trolling Andrade. If you look at Canelo, even though he was saying some of the stuff he was saying, I don't think he was serious. I don't think he was serious. I think it's only when Andrade started escalating the situation and Andrade got very serious. I think Canelo was actually trying to be funny initially. He's like, you fought with nobody. You fought with nobody. And it was kind of funny, the back and forth between Canelo and Andrade. And I think it got... I think Canelo was a savage, especially when he started, swearing at his dad. I think that's what really got Andrade angry about what he was saying to his dad. And his dad was getting really angry as well. He goes, you ducked him at 54, you ducked him at 60, now you ducked him at 68. Like, at the end of the day, right, Canelo's not ducking Andrade. Let me get that out there. He's not ducking Andrade. And in terms of Canelo telling Andrade, you fought nobody, he hasn't fought nobody, really. If you look at it, he hasn't fought any top quality opponents. Now, Andrade said that, well, who did the other guys like Fielding and those guys fight? The difference is that those were like warm-up or tune-up fights, or Yildirim was a mandatory fight. Saunders, he was saying, who did Saunders? Saunders probably has a better resume than, he not probably, definitely has a better resume than Andrade. But my point is Canelo's right. Canelo's saying that I'm having to fight all these top guys with belts and stuff, and you guys are just waiting to fight me. And that's what Canelo was saying. You want a payday? You want a payday? Yeah, that's what he's basically saying. That basically you don't want to work your way to it. You just want me, you just want to get the fight. Now, Canelo has already stated he wants to become undisputed. He wants to be undisputed super middleweight champion. Canelo is not afraid to fight Andrade. No way. And he even told him that your style, basically when he said you're a horrible fighter, he alluded to his style, how boring he is, how, the fact that he's not fan friendly. And you know what? He's got a point. He's got a point. Andrade isn't the most exciting fighter out there. He's quite a fighter that, not many people like to watch. And that's probably why he doesn't get the views and he doesn't get the, he hasn't got the popularity, because his style is not very exciting. You can say the same about Terence Crawford. He's also not very exciting, and that's probably why he's not as big as he should be. But Andrade's a champion. He's a two-weight world champion. But unfortunately, he hasn't got the name that he should have. And that's probably down to the fact because of his style. Maybe he's not the most exciting. In his last fight, he didn't look good, however, against Williams. I thought he looked quite vulnerable. And on that performance, I think you have to say Canelo would be a massive favourite and to stop him as well. And I think Canelo would stop him. I think Canelo will be too strong. I don't think Andrade's got the power. Although I do think Andrade's a bit more explosive than Billy Joe. He's got a little bit more faster combinations. He puts his punches together a lot better than Billy Joe, in my opinion. He's more explosive. However, I don't think he's got the power, as we saw in Liam Smith. Liam Smith ate those punches. He got put down, ate those punches, and for me, Canelo's got an even better chin, and he's harder to hit. So I think that's going to be a tough fight. And most importantly, I think Canelo is more dangerous than Liam Smith in terms of his punching power, his punch variety, his punch selection. All of that's a lot better. And I just personally think. I think he would beat Andrade quite comfortably as well. I know Dominic Ingle he did an interview and he said he feels that Andrade would beat Golovkin or beat nah, I don't think he beats any of those guys, actually. I think Golovkin's style's all wrong. It's all wrong because Golovkin's not Liam Williams. Golovkin believes in himself. Golovkin would walk him down, and most importantly, Golovkin's got a better chin than Liam Williams, and he punches harder than Liam Williams. So that for me, and if Liam Williams being a pressure fighter was causing him so much trouble, then imagine what Golovkin would do. Because even now, though Golovkin's old, in his prime, he would beat Andrade quite comfortably. But even now, you'd have to say that you would favor Golovkin to beat Williams quite comfortably. I know styles make fights, plus we don't know what Golovkin's legs are like, and against someone like Andrade, you're going to have to cut the ring off, which I believe Golovkin still can do. And most importantly, I just think that Golovkin has the power to really hurt Andrade. If Liam Williams hurt him a couple of times in that fight, then Golovkin definitely has the power to wipe him out. So I still favor Golovkin in that fight. And if anything, you'd probably say that Andrade's best days are behind him as well. He's been very inactive. He hasn't fought top competition, really. And he hasn't really looked good in the last couple of fights. So I still would favor Golovkin in that fight. I think Golovkin's style may be all wrong, and Canelo's definitely would beat him, because Canelo's definitely all wrong right now for him. But I feel for Andrade, he should be getting these big fights because he's a champion. But unfortunately, there's no fights out there. Someone pointed out that maybe Eubank and Andrade should fight. I think Eubank would be up for that fight because Eubank said he's up for titles. I don't think that style is great for Eubank. But after watching that performance against Liam Williams, surely Eubank would have belief that he can go in there and beat Andrade, because Liam Williams did well. Liam Williams did really, really well in that fight. He did really well. He had a lot of success. So I'm pretty sure Eubank thinks he's a lot better than Liam Williams, or in his head anyway. I think Liam Williams would give Eubank a very tough fight, especially after watching Eubank against Marcus Morrison. Some people said he could have easily stopped him in the second round, but he took his foot off the gas. I don't buy that. I don't think any fighter goes into a fight, looking for rounds. I just feel that's what Eubank does. Eubank's done that before. I've seen him where he's let punches go when he's stepped off the gas. But yeah, that's a fight that I'd like to see Andrade have. Eubank v Andrade. That's a good fight. It's a big money fight for Andrade, and it's a fight that probably could happen here in the UK. Get Andrade's name out there a little bit, because it's definitely a fight that could be. They'll probably put it on pay-per-view, and it's a fight that probably could be promoted, marketed, and Andrade, if he was able to beat Eubank, it definitely increases popularity, because Eubank's a big name, because obviously we know his father was a great fighter, and Eubank carries that name. His name carries that weight, so Andrade could probably look to use that if he's confident beating. Like I said, I don't think Eubank would be that easy. Although I think Andrade's style is not easy for someone like Eubank. After that performance against Williams, I do give Eubank a better chance, because I think if Eubank can get close and land a few quick shots, Eubank's faster in terms of combination punching than Liam Williams. Unfortunately, I just don't think in the Morrison fight he'd let his hands go enough. And that was the thing. He didn't look that impressive. He didn't let his hands go. I thought he'd let his hands go a lot more, and we see him a more ruthless Eubank. But he seemed patient, but at times he wasn't doing a lot. He was quite inactive for a lot of the round. But let's see what him and Roy, like, obviously he's been with Roy Jones a long time. A lot of people weren't impressed with Eubank's performance. A lot of people said he looked flat. Was he doing something in that fight? Something that he was working with Roy Jones? I don't know. But again, he'd have to be a lot better than that if he wants to win a world title against some of the middleweights right now. Because on that performance, I don't believe he beats any. I believe he would have a chance if we see Eubank at his very best against maybe someone like Murata. But even at his best, you definitely say the other guys would be favourite against him. But I think his best chance will come against Murata, and a lot of few people don't feel he beat Murata. But yeah, I think him and Andrade would definitely be a good fight, because I think it's a kind of a fight which could do good for both. Because if Eubank is able to beat Andrade, all of a sudden he becomes a credible name on the world stage. Because a lot of people think right now he's not a credible fighter at the world stage. I believe if he beats someone like Andrade, he becomes a credible name. If Andrade's looking for that popularity, that name that he hasn't got, and that that would look good on his resume. And although a lot of people don't think Eubank is an elite 160 or 168 pounder, I think the name, I think the marketing behind the fight, I think the hype around the fight would get Andrade's name out there. So I think it's a fight that he definitely should consider if that fight can be made or be offered to him. I think definitely be a good fight for him. And also I think Eubank's a dangerous fight. as well. It's not an easy fight by any stretch, but I do think styles make fights, and I think stylistically, Eubank does struggle against a mover like an Andrade, so you'd have to favor Andrade. However, Andrade in his last fight didn't look great, and he is 33, right? He has been inactive for, for over the years. So maybe Eubank's catching him at the right time. Who knows? I think that would be a great, I think, be a right fight to make personally. But in terms of Canelo and Andrade, I don't think Canelo's interested. I don't think Canelo think that fight is a big fight. I don't think he really likes. He thinks maybe Andrade's style is horrible, and it's not the most fan friendly. And most importantly, Andrade hasn't got anything Canelo wants. Now, someone did point out the fact that Canelo had all the belts at 160, and Andrade was the only one with the other belt, but Canelo didn't look to become undisputed. That is a bit strange because if that was the case, I don't know why Canelo. Maybe I don't know. I don't know. That is a bit strange. I can't remember that time. I can't remember. Did Andrade the only other champion? Because if that was the case, I don't know why Canelo didn't fight him then. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Uh, Maybe had some. I don't know, because they were both on DAZN as well. So yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Maybe there was another champion. Maybe I'm getting it wrong, but someone pointed it out. I think it was on their Instagram, on YouTube. Someone pointed it out. But anyway, Canelo now is moved on to 168, and he's one belt away from becoming undisputed. I'm pretty sure if Andrade works his way into a position and starts beating some of the other top guys like a Golovkin, or beat some of the top names, I'm pretty sure that Canelo fight, there'll be a lot of high demand for it. Because there's big demand for the Charlo fight. And Canelo's already said that he's interested in the Charlo fight. And I actually think the Charlo fight might be tougher for Canelo than Andrade anyway. Because I think Charlo's style is dangerous, in the sense that Charlo is a very physical fighter. And Canelo, as we saw with Golovkin, I'm not saying Charlo's Golovkin, but I think that kind of style could be more troubling for Canelo than these movers, because I think a lot of these movers, although they're movers and they're slick and they move around, I don't think they have the power to hurt Canelo, and I think Canelo has the power to hurt them. So I personally think that Canelo beats them, and I think Canelo is a way better fighter, as we saw against Saunders. Although Saunders had success in the fight, I still think Canelo was winning the fight 5-3. And Saunders is also a mover, slick guy. So I think Canelo is a way better fighter now than he was when he fought Lara. So, and I think that was proven on Saturday, really. So yeah, I would like to see Andrade fight maybe a Eubank, maybe a Golovkin. I want to see him fight some of the top guys just to see how he gets on. And there's some big fights out there. But I just think a lot of these guys are just banking on the Canelo fight. They're waiting their time, and like Saunders waited his time for the Canelo fight. And I don't think it's good preparation anyway, because I don't think Andrade can go from what he's been fighting to Canelo and expect to win. I just don't think a guy can. I just don't believe that you're prepared to go in against someone like Canelo with the competition that he's faced. I think there's too many levels in between, and there's very few guys in the history that have jumped levels like that and been able to come through it. Very few. And I don't think, from what I saw with Andrade in his last fight, I can't see him beating Canelo. So I think Andrade will probably be better if he looks to make a Charlo fight, looks to make a Golovkin fight, and then if he wins those fights, or wins one of those, then go for a Canelo. Then he deserves it as well, because if he unifies with a Charlo or Golovkin, you'd have to say that would be a great win, and he deserves to then get a Canelo fight. And by the way, I'm not saying he doesn't deserve it now, because he is a champion. What I'm saying is Canelo's not at 160. So he should be calling out Golovkin, calling out Charlo, calling out Morata, because those are the guys at 160. For him to say, remember, he's not really fought at 168. Canelo's looking for the champions at 168. He just fought a champion in Saunders, right? Everybody was saying he was avoiding Saunders because of the fact that Saunders is a mover. Now people are going to go on to Andrade. See, Canelo never gets a break, because no matter what Canelo does, he's ducking somebody. If he fights Andrade, beats him, or he's ducking Charlo. If he beats Charlo, or he's ducking Golovkin, he never gets a break. The fact of the matter is he's fighting everybody. He's not afraid of anyone. Look, he fought Saunders, who's like Andrade. So, and if Saunders and Andrade fought, would you guys have Saunders a massive favor against Andrade? Or would you have Andrade, sorry, a massive favorite against Saunders? No. I personally would favor Andrade, but not by much. So leave your thoughts, guys. Let me know what you think. What do you guys make of Canelo telling Andrade that you fought nobody? I'm not fighting you. Leave your thoughts in the comment section below, guys. And guys, remember to please like, share, subscribe to my channel. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.